This book is called Battle Milk 2, Tangents and Transitions in Concept Art. And it's got art by a lot of different artists. Let's see here. Artists in this book: Wayne Lowe, David Lemire, Tang Lee, Killian Plunkett, Lee Tang, Jackson Sizz, and there's some bios of each artist. So it appears to be a bunch of various pieces of art for concept designs, I would guess for movies, maybe even for video games. It's got a foreword by Ralph McQuarrie, who is the concept artist for Star Wars. So let's take a look at what drawings and paintings are here by Wayne Lowe. And so here's a bunch of concept paintings for forest. Has a nice drawing of a tree there. It's really nice stuff in here. Robots. There's a lady in a turtleneck. Warrior rats. Just really great stuff. Look at that. So when you do concept art, you have to you have to come up with different variations on certain subjects. David Lemire. I'm guessing this was for a book. Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven. Really nice paintings here. Really great book. I'm not remembering who gave this to me. Somebody must have given it to me. Although maybe I was at a convention and found it there. Tang Lee. Big science fiction stuff here. Wow. Just loving the stuff in here. I haven't seen these books in a while because I've been hiding them in my bookcase out in the other room. Killian Plunkett. Line drawings here with different concepts. Really nice. Space platform. Here we go. It starts with a premise, some thumbnails, move into a preliminary sketch, work out a composition, start getting your painting palettes and your values, put your final touches in, see the finished work there. And here's a double-page spread of that concept of this lady floating in her spaceship. Lee Tang. You see a workup from initial drawing, value painting, and then finished painting. Character designs here. All this is inspirational work. Tons of thumbnail storyboard drawings. Nice work here. So I'm showing this so that you can see that there are other ways to draw. Go out and find some inspirational art by artists that you like. How do you find it? Well, you go to different conventions. Sometimes the bookstores, actually the comic book stores might have this type of work to show you. But various comic conventions and animation conventions will have it. This one is called Deadlines by Sanford Greene. This is a sketchbook of his, volume 2. And we see a bunch of different drawings, concepts that he's done. he says that these were all done not at the last minute, but coming up on the last minute. Different jobs that he had that people said, "Can you get me this yesterday?" And you have to quickly come up with stuff. So he's showing you a lot of his pencil sketches and how they lead to a semi-final drawing that someone's probably going to use for a pitch meeting, trying to get someone to buy the project. I would hazard a guess this is the Legion of Superheroes, because there was supposed to be a Legion cartoon years and years ago. So a lot of great drawings and paintings in here. Look at that. These are the kinds of things you have to do to get a job as a concept artist. Come up with all different variations on any given theme that they throw at you. Here he's doing comic book pages. So a lot of great stuff there. Now this guy here I've known for quite a few years. Perkins, Thomas Perkins. And the comic book store out in Burbank had these printed up. That guy printed up a bunch of books by people that I knew, including Thomas. So this is one of Thomas's books that he had printed up there. And he's got such a delightful style. I love his drawings. Such a unique way of drawing characters. And he draws a lot. This is a hardback book of his work. Such nice work. I love his stuff. And that's a caricature of him himself. Forward by Jorge Gutierrez, who directed that animated film, The Book of Life. So more delightful drawings, paintings by Thomas. When you go to a comic convention or animation convention, you find work like this. Sometimes the artists themselves have a table. Sometimes a book dealer has a table with all kinds of artwork by different artists. And this is how you get inspiration, by what your contemporaries are doing. I worked with Thomas at a couple jobs and always had a great time talking to him and looking at his art. He does a lot of stuff with this character Kid Cthulhu, which is based on a famous horror writer from way back in the 30s and 40s. I think he's the one that did the book, The Necronomicon. Look at his styles. Here we see his desk with some of his pens here, and these are lunch bags that he does for his kids every morning before they go to school. He decorates their lunch bags with his drawings, and they're usually triptychs. So here you see three of them together to make one big picture. Usually it's kaiju and robots, aliens. Just love his work. He's in the animation business, character design. Great book. So glad I got it. And this is a slim book by Paul Wee, who is on The Simpsons. I think he's a director on The Simpsons now, but I've known him a long time, since he first got on the show, matter of fact. Always loved his drawings and his paintings. I think that's Black Sad and Catwoman. Just great drawings. He taught a life drawing class. I took a life drawing class with him that he was teaching way back in the old days. And so he put out this slim little sketchbook, and then he put out a thicker one, square bound. He even autographed it to me. And more of his delightful drawings. Oh, man. His art is just great. I love that Batman there. The fanboy wearing the Flash shirt. So, just a couple of the people I've met in the animation business and how talented they are. And they put out their own sketchbooks so that you can buy them. So that's Paul Wee. And this is Mike Kunckle. I met Kunckle at Cartoon Network back in, I guess I was working on Laszlo back then. His comic book is called Hero Bear and the Kid. And he's been drawing this for many, many years now. He did some issues of Captain Marvel for DC Comics some years ago, which I think I got 2 or 3 of those. But his Hero Bear and the Kid are his own characters, whereas Captain Marvel belongs to DC. But a great artist. Look at these drawings. Just wonderful. Always liked his stuff. And I love the book layout and the printing with the spiral in the middle there. Just really, so he's an animator by trade, and he does storyboards and character design as well. And this one is by Lenord Robinson, who I've known since I got in the industry, and he's been in it longer than me. And again, this was printed by the guy that runs the comic shop out in Burbank, House of Secrets. He printed up a bunch of books that are art by friends of mine in the animation business. And get to see Lenord's great sketches here. Such lively drawings and just good stuff here. Yeah. So then the last book is a comic book by Louie del Carmen, who's worked at all the big studios on TV and feature films. And he put out this comic book. Is this number 1? Yes, number 1. And it's from 2010. So I ran into him at one of the comic conventions years and years ago. And I think we worked together once or twice. We were at the same company. I forget what project I was doing and which one he was on, but great artist, great comic book. Sword and sorcery stuff. Somebody's searching. There's always an adventure with a search. But it's great to do your own comic. You get to do it your way. You're not working for someone else telling you what to do. You get to write your story your way and draw it the way you want it. So, something else for you guys to check out if you want more instant gratification or quicker gratification from your art. Think about doing a comic book in addition to doing an animated film. So that's just some of the stuff that I've got laying around. And you can buy your own little sketchbooks, kind of like this. I bought at one of the dollar stores, I think. And I just started drawing in it. And you could do that buy one of these and make your own thumbnail comic book and then blow the artwork up to regular size. The Jot notebook. So think about making your own stuff. And we will see you next time. Keep drawing.